Hello everyone, I think you are fine. Today we are going to discuss on shear force and bending moment. The fundamental discussion, this is part 1 in which we are going to discuss on the most important tips for the beginners and the exam aspirants. Let us first consider a beam. What is beam? Beam is a structural element which is having its depth and breadth considerably lower than its length, and thus it may considered as a one-dimensional structural member. Due to the application of the load on the beam, it will go on deformation. Now if I take a cross section like this, and it will look similar as shown here, and due to the application of the external load, there will be generation of a set of force. First one will be tangential to the cross section and will look like this, and the force will cause a deformation as shown here, and these force will cause a failure or deformation on a section due to application of the force just left and just right of that section, and is termed as shear force. Another set of force which is acting perpendicular to the cross section and is separated by a distance will cause a moment, or we may say a couple on the cross section, and will cause a deformed pattern like this. This couple is known as bending moment. So this is how the shear force and bending moment is generated. Now the question is, why this set of perpendicular and transverse force is generated? When a load is applied on a part of a beam, it always tries to disperse the load towards the supporting medium, and thus a stress trajectory is generated. Any point of this stress trajectory, there will be two components always. A horizontal component which will in turn act perpendicularly to the cross section and will cause this kind of deformation or a bending, and the vertical component of this stress trajectory will cause the shear, and thus how it generates. Now let us come to the basic definition of shear force and bending moment. What is shear force? It is an algebraic summation of all the transverse forces acting up to just left or just right of the cross section. Two things to be noted here. First one is the algebraic summation and acting just left and just right of the section. What do you mean by algebraic summation? Algebraic summation is that thing where we have a importance of the symbol. So that means there should be a sign convention. What is the sign convention that we used to use in shear force? The sign convention is left up, right down is positive. Now the question is, left of which and right of which thing? So if we consider a beam and a section here, any force upward towards the right, left of this section is positive. At the same time, any force acting downwards in the right of the section is positive. I repeat here, the force acting upward in the left of the section and the force acting downwards in the right of the section is positive. That causes the convention left up, right down, positive. Bending moment. Bending moment is the algebraic summation of all the moments either from the right or from the left of the section. So here also there is an algebraic summation, and here point to be noted is bending moment is acting at the section generally. So what is the sign convention then? Because we have to have a algebraic summation. Sign convention is hogging moment is negative and the sagging moment is positive. Now what is hogging and what is sagging moment? When the deformation is like this, where the couple is acting to cause tension at the top. You see the tension is caused at the top and the bottom fiber is being compressed by two forces. And these two set of force is causing the couple. And here it is negative. When it is causing tension at the bottom and compression at the top is known as sagging moment, and here we have taken it as a positive one. One thing to be noted here, the sign convention may be either for the bending moment or for the shear force differently or just opposite of this convention. No matter, it can be of either side. But in this course, under this lecture, we have considered this sign convention, and we will do the example problem according to this. So let us see how the hugging moment is negative. We actually, in childhood, we used to mix up the things. Which one is positive, which one is negative. So hugging moment, which is looking like a sad face, we'll have to exclude from the life and is considered as negative. Whereas the sagging moment is looking as a smiley face and we want to add it in our life. So thus the sign convention can be memorized. Let us come to example problem. Here we will do a set of example problem, then we will go for a conclusion, which is very important for the exam aspirants. Please look at this here, where we have considered a cantilever beam with a point load at its tip, point B. We have considered a cross section or a section here, which is at a distance of x from free end. The span of the beam is L. First of all, we have to calculate the shear force. Mind it, at the very beginning of the cantilever beam, we don't have to calculate the reaction because we will start the calculation from the free end, and because it is a free end, the reaction is known to us. It will be 0. So there is a very easy thing that we can do for a cantilever beam. Let us go for the calculation. Shear force at x will be P as the algebraic summation of all the forces to be done here. There is no other forces other than the P, and it is acting downwards and is situated at the right of the cross section. So we have taken it as positive. So it is plus P. Now we can see here when the x is equals to 0, that is when the section is to be considered just left of B is plus P, and when x equals to L, that is when we have to calculate the shear force at just right of A, it is again plus P because it is independent of x. So thus we can see this will be the shear force diagram, and as the force is downwards in the right of the cross section, it will be positive throughout. So this is the sign convention. Let us go for the bending moment calculation, and here we can see the calculation for the bending moment, and at the section x it is minus P into x. Force into perpendicular distance is the bending moment. So we have this, we are taking a main moment at x. In this point I want to give you a tips. While calculating bending moment, everyone should ask a very basic question to himself. What are these? Two basic questions is about which point the bending moment are to be taken. Here we are taking the bending moment about x, this section. And next question is for which load we are going to take the moment. So we are taking the moment for this load P. So this P into perpendicular distance x is causing a bending at section XX and will cause a deformation which may look like this, which may cause a deformation like this, and this may be considered as a hogging moment because you see, let us lap this one, you see that here the tension is at the top. So we may say the moment is negative. So let us next consider when x is equals to 0, Bm will equals to 0, just put 0 at x, And then when x is equals to L, that is, we are going to calculate bending moment at A, it will be minus Px. So, P into L, sorry, it will be PL. So, it will be 0 here, minus PL at the support. So, let us make a correction here. It should not be Px, it should be P into L. So we may say that the bending moment have to be look like a straight line, because the equation is, bending moment equation is of a straight line, which is y equals to mx. So it will be, this is the baseline, and we have drawn a 0 to PL, a straight line, and is negative because it is a hogging moment. So the sign convention shows that. Let us now consider another cantilever beam. So why we have put the negative sign, that will be discussed now. Under the load, each and every cantilever beam used to behave like this. We may say under the transverse load, which is pointing towards downward, it behaves like this, and these causes a bending which is hogging in nature, and will put a negative sign for that. But in case of simply supported beam, when we'll put the same transverse load from the top towards downward direction, it deforms like this, and this causes a sagging bending, and generally it is causing a positive bending moment diagram. Let us take another example with an UDL for a cantilever beam itself. The cantilever beam having an UDL throughout its span, having an intensity of omega per unit run. Many a book used to consider the UDL which is shown like this, but in this case, in this particular lecture, we have shown the UDL like a rectangular load, because we want to say that UDL actually is a rectangular load where the intensity of the load is similar throughout the span. Let us consider a cross section here, which is again at a distance of x. The span of the beam is again L. So when we are calculating the shear force here, the SF is omega into x. Here one thing is to be noted: always when we are going to calculate a load for a load intensity, the total load cause for a load intensity having an UDL, UVL, etc. is the area of the load intensity diagram. I repeat, the total load due to a load intensity is the area of the load intensity diagram. So if it is a rectangular load, we have to calculate the area of this rectangle up to x itself, because we are considering the shear force up to x itself. So it will be length into breadth, that is x into omega. In other way we can say also that omega is acting per meter. So for x meter it will be omega into x. Now it is acting towards the downward direction in the right of the section considered, so it will be positive. Now when x is equals to 0, SF is equals to 0, and when x equals to L, the SF will be equals to plus omega L. So let us draw the SF diagram. So it is 0 here and plus PL there. So this is the baseline, and as the equation shows, again the variation is a straight line variation. So we have drawn it by a straight line. So it is positive 1 as per the sign convention. Let us go for the calculation of bending moment, and the bending moment equation will be the load into perpendicular distance, as the load is known to us omega into x. And what should be the perpendicular distance? Because it is a UDL, so intensity diagram distance should be taken from the section about which we will take the bending moment up to the CG of the load intensity diagram always. If it is a point load, the point load itself is the CG of the load. But if it is a load intensity diagram, whatever may be the intensity, look like UDL, UVL, or all this part, all these cases, we have to consider the distance up to the CG of the cross section. As it is a rectangle, where the CG will be? The CG will be at a distance of the x by 2 from here up to the center of the rectangle. So we have multiplied x by 2 and it is resulting to omega x square by 2. Now when x is equals to 0, Bm is equals to 0, and for x equals to L, it will be omega L square by 2. Now if we see the diagram, the values, it is 0 at the free end and PL square by 2 in the fixed end. So this is the baseline. Let us see how it looks like. The equation is looking like a square parabola. So we have to join here to this point with a parabola like this, which is a square parabola, and as it is a hugging moment, we have put a negative sign as per the sign convention. Now let us consider a UVL. So it is having a triangular load UVL, which is omega per meter at the fixed support starting from 0 at the free end. So again let us consider a section at a distance of x. Similarly, so we have to consider or calculate the ordinate value of this ordinate at a distance of x. So we have taken the property of triangle or unitary method. At a distance of L, it is omega. So what will be at a distance of 1? It will be omega by L. How it will be, what will be it, the value will be at a distance of x? It is omega by L into x. So it is omega by L into x at a distance of x, the ordinate value. So let us calculate the shear force. The shear force is, we have already referred, any force at up to any section of a load intensity diagram, is the area of the intensity diagram. So it will be the area of a triangle, so half base into altitude. Altitude is omega L by x and base is x. So this is the force, and it is having an equation of square parabola. You can see here. So at x equals to 0, SF will be equals to 0, and x equals to L, it is having a value of omega L by 2. Just putting in place of x the value L. So here we will see this is the baseline, 0 at the free end, omega L at the fixed end, and as it is a downward force in the right of the cross section, so as per the sign convention it is positive, and it is having a variation of square parabola. We have put a positive sign as per the sign convention. Let us go for the bending moment calculation. So bending moment is the value of the load into the CG distance. We already have calculated the value of the load or the force. Say it is half base into altitude, half into x into omega x, omega L, omega divided by L into x, this one. So this is the load, and the CG distance from this base, where to calculate? Here to CG, from the base to the CG of this triangle. So it is x by 3. It will be x by 3 here. So it is having an equation of a cubic parabola. So let us consider again, when x equals to 0, Bm is equals to 0. When x equals to L, the Bm is equals to omega L square by 6. And we have put a negative sign because it is a hogging moment. It will cause a deformation due to the load like this. So it will cause a tension at the top. So 0 here, omega L square by 6 here, and it is a cubic parabola. So and put a negative sign as per the sign convention. Let us come to the last problem of the cantilever beam, which is having a moment at its free end. Span is L. Value of the concentrated moment is M. Let us again consider a section at a distance of x. Calculation of shear force. Here you can see, as per the definition, we have to take the algebraic summation of the forces, transverse forces, and there is no transverse force within this cross section. So the shear force at x is equals to 0. there is only a moment, no force is there. So the shear force diagram will be only a line. Let us come to calculation of bending moment, and you will see the Bm at x is minus m always, because it is a hogging moment. It will see that this type of moment is causing a bending which is deforming the section like this, or the beam like this, and will cause a hogging moment. If it is a moment like this in other way, so it may cause a sagging moment itself also. So let us try to draw the bending moment diagram. At x equals to 0, Bm is 0. At x equals to L, the Bm is again, at x equals to 0, Bm is minus m, and x equals to L, the Bm is again minus m. That is, x equals to 0 means the free end at B, just left of B, and at A, both the values are minus m, because the equation is independent of x. So let us draw the bending moment diagram. It is looking like this, and as per the sign convention, it is negative. What are the conclusion? Calculation of SFBM always starts from free end, because we have no value of the reaction. It is easier to calculate from there. So shear force at the free end is always 0 unless a concentrated load is applied at the tip. Only in the case where the concentrated load is applied, the shear force is having a value, otherwise it is 0 for every kind of load. For the bending moment also, it is 0 at the free end, but when the concentrated moment is applied, it is a non-zero value, just we have seen. Now let us say both the SF and BM diagram is having the maximum value always at the fixed end. These are the 4 conclusions that we have drawn up to date by calculating the shear force bending moment for a cantilever beam. So let us now consider a simply supported beam having a span of L, and a point load is applied at the center, concentrated load. Always it will create a reaction at A and B in the support. To calculate the reaction, what we will do, we'll take a moment about B. Now we have to have an algebraic summation of the moments also. Here we have to see how to calculate the moment. We have to take clockwise bending moment, or the moment, as positive, and anti-clockwise as negative. It may be considered vice versa also, but here we are taking clockwise positive, anti-clockwise negative. Now how to know which moment will be clockwise and which will be anti-clockwise? This is an important term, taking moment about B. This is very important term. About B, so about which we are taking the moment, please fix up a thumb on it. I am giving a thumb rule or a tips. Fix up a thumb on it and try to touch the loads and consider the load one by one. Try to touch the load here by your little finger. Okay, so let us rub the little finger over it and in the direction of the load. Let us rub it like in the direction of the load, and you will see due to the rubbing it will cause a rotation like this in this direction, which is a clockwise direction, whereas for this it will cause a rotation like this, which is an anti-clockwise direction. So it is very useful to take a decision which one is anti-clockwise moment and which is clockwise moment. So here we will see the equation is coming like this: RA into L, it is a clockwise moment, is positive, and minus P into L by 2, which is anti-clockwise moment, so it is considered as negative, and we have calculated the value of RA as P by 2. So this is taking the equation of statics, summation of moment is equals to 0. Considering another equation of statics, summation of vertical force is equals to 0, we may also calculate RB. That is, RA plus RB minus P is equals to 0 will also show you that RB is equals to P by 2 again. Now let us consider a section at a distance of x from A. Calculation of SF. So what will be the equation of SF between A to C? It will be plus RB. Why plus? Because RB is the force which is acting upward, and it's situated at the left side of the cross section. Right down and left up is positive. So left side upward force is positive. So it is P by 2. So when x is equals to 0, SF is equals to P by 2. Where is x equals to 0? That is just right of A. And at x equals to L by 2, which is just left of C, when it should not be considered this P, just left of this P, is P by 2 again. Now, let us draw the bending moment diagram up to this. It will be plus P by 2 here, and will be joined by a horizontal line, and is minus, and this P by 2 again up to C. Okay? So it is positive. Now, let us consider the SF at x from C to B. Now the equation will change. Here, when the cross section is just starting from the right of C here, the forces are plus RB minus P. So it will be plus RB minus P, plus P by 2 minus P, minus P by 2. So at x equals to L by 2, just right of the C is minus P by 2. And at x equals to L, which is just left of B, when we are considering it just right of B, this P is considered, and just left of B, it is always again P by 2. So minus P by 2 and P by 2 up to B, it is negative. So this is as per the sign convention. Let us go for the bending moment calculation. Let us consider again that section, and let us form the equation of BM. It's RA into X. This RA into X will cause a deformation like this, which is a sagging. So we have put a positive bending moment. It will cause a sagging bending moment. So P by 2 into X is the equation up to C. So at x equals to 0, that is at A, BM is equals to 0, and at x equals to L by 2, BM is equals to P by 2 into L by 2, PL by 4. So let us draw the bending moment diagram. It shows a straight linear variation. So it will be like this. Now let us form the equation up to C now, beyond the C, when the cross section is somewhere here. So now the section, the distance x is like this. So it will be RA into X minus this distance. How much will be this distance? It will be X minus L by 2. So distance from here to here minus here to C, A to C. So it will be P into X minus L by 2. So this is also a straight linear equation. At x equals to L by 2, just put L by 2 here in the position of x. It will again form this value PL by 4, and at x equals to L, you will see, just I have calculated here, it will result down to 0 again. So it will form the equation, it is form this BM diagram like this, a triangle with a positive sign, as it is a sagging moment. Let us, if it is a eccentric load having a distance from right is A, and B is from B, it is B, small b, and the total A plus B is equals to L, and you will see the reaction calculation is again taking moment about B. So RA into L minus P into B. So P into this distance, P into the B, because we are taking moment from B, and it should be boiled down to 0. So it is PB by L. If you have a equation like this, with summation vertical forces equals to 0, you will see, you'll get the RB is equals to PA by L. So it is very funny, when it is for RA, it will be PB by L, and if it is for RB, it will be PA by L. So let us calculate the shear force. It will be again RA into, plus RA, the shear force. So it will be PB by L up to C. So it is, when it is 0, at just right of the section just right of A, it will be PB by L, and at L by 2, just left of C, it is again plus B by L. So let us draw the shear force diagram. It will be a horizontal line, and if it is beyond C, it will be RA minus P, because this will be then considered, if the section is here, RA minus B minus P. So At x equals to 0, it will be minus p a by L, and at x equals to L by 2, it will be again minus p by L, just putting the value of here. So, you know, b minus L, L is equals to a plus b, so b will cancel out, it will be minus a, so it will be minus p a by L. So, it will look like this. Put the positive and negative sign as per the sign convention. Let us go for the calculation of bending moment here. The bending moment equation up to C is Ra into x as previous. So at x equals to 0, it will be 0, and at x equals to A, that is at C, we are starting from here, the cross section somewhere is here. So at x equals to A, it will be P AB by L. So you will see that the bending moment equation is again maintaining a straight linear variation. So we'll join it with a straight line. After the here, when the section is coming here beyond C, point C actually, point load P, the section distance is x, so the equation will be Ra into x minus P into x minus A. So this small distance is x minus A. So let us consider the different points at x equals to C, that is equals to A, x equals to small a, that is at C, it will be P AB by L again, and when you are putting x equals to L, it is boiling down to 0. So we can see the bending moment is looking like this, and it's having a straight linear variation, and put a positive sign as per the sign convention. Next we are going to discuss on the bending moment diagram with a UDL, where we can see here AB is the point, and there will be a reaction, and finally we will see without any calculation we can say from the symmetry, if it is the load is at center, point load P, so the reaction will be P by 2. Here symmetric load, symmetric cross section, symmetric beam, so omega into L is the total load, and it will be omega L by 2 in the either side reaction. Or we may calculate it in general by taking moment about V. You will see both the reactions will come as omega L by 2. I have given the calculation in detail. So let us form the calculation for equation for the shear force. Consider a cross section or a section at a distance of x from A. So what are the loads? What are the loads? It is Ra, which is positive. It's left side upward force, and there are small amount of load intensity diagram. The total load is area of this intensity diagram is omega into x, and it is downward in the left, so it will be negative. Left side upward force is positive, left side downward force is negative, and right side downward force is negative, upward force is positive. So here it is taking equation like this, and x equals to 0 will say SF at just right of the A is plus omega L by 2, and at x equals to L by 2 SF is becoming 0. When x is equals to L, here there is no such point load, which is actually a discontinuity function, because their shear force is discontinuous. Here it is continuous over the span, so we can calculate with a single equation. You can see the value is coming as minus omega L by 2. So let us draw, because it is a straight line, omega L by 2 plus at the A, near A, and near B it is minus omega L by 2. So draw it with a straight line, put the sign as per the sign convention. Let us come to the calculation of BM. Again, for that cross section or the section at X, we will see BM at X equation is Ra into X. Ra is the load and perpendicular distance is X, and for the UDL, the load intensity is omega, and the total load will be omega into X, and the CG distance from the center of this portion up to A is x by 2, because the CG of a rectangular always remains at the center. If the distance is x, so the CG will be at x by 2. So it is taking a expression like this, omega L by 2 into x, and minus omega x square by 2. So let us put the value x equals to 0, the Bm is equals to 0. At x equals to L by 2, that is at the center, just put L by 2 here, and it is taking the value of omega L by 2, it will be positive. And at x equals to L, at the right end, if you put x equals to L, it is boiling down to 0. So we can draw the bending moment diagram. The nature of the moment equation is square parabola. Is 0 at the supports and omega L square by 8 at the center. You see here, we have joined it with a straight line. One very interesting thing you can see, even in the previous case, in the bending moment diagram, where the bending moment is becoming 0, where the shear force is changing its sign or touching 0, the bending moment is taking the maximum value. Here also again we can see the similar thing. The bending moment is taking the maximum value where the shear force is changing its sign and touching 0. So this is a very good finding. Let us consider a UVL with a triangular load having a span of L and omega at the center. Let us consider a section X at a distance of X from A. So here we can see, we can calculate the reaction. So Ra into L, we are taking a moment about B, Ra into L, and the total load is the intensity diagram of the total load is the area of the intensity diagram, half base into altitude, half into omega into L, and the CG distance from the B is at L by 2. Okay, so we are getting the reaction WL by 4, and also RB will be WL by 4. Here it is also a symmetric load. Let us consider a section to form the equation. So we have calculated the value of the ordinate at a distance of x here. So this small value is coming as omega x by L by 2. How it is coming? From similar triangle. At L by 2 it is gone to the value of omega. So at 1 it will be omega divided by L by 2. At x it will be omega into x divided by L by 2. So calculate the shear force. The shear force is Ra minus the area of the triangle, because it is the intensity diagram. So area of the triangle is half base into altitude, so it will be half into base, that is x, into altitude, that is omega x by L by 2, which is actually 2 omega x by L. Okay, so now it is forming an equation which is a square parabolic equation. So at x equals to 0, SF is equals to coming as plus omega L by 4. At x equals to L by 2, it is forming 0. And x equals to L, it is coming minus omega L by 4. So let us draw the bending moment shear force diagram. This is the baseline, positive L by 4 at the support A, negative L by 4 at support B, and it is a square parabola. So it will look like this. Put the sign convention. So this is the shear force diagram. Okay. Now let us go for the bending moment calculation. So in bending moment calculation, here we have calculated the bending moment equation. It is Ra into x. We are taking a moment about this line, this x, about this section x, this section, which is having a distance of x from here at a distance of x. So it is Ra into x minus the intensity diagram area is half base into altitude. This is the area of the intensity diagram which is giving the expression of force, and the CG distance is x by 3, because from the base the CG distance is x by 3. So we are getting this expression which is actually a cubic parabolic equation. When x equals to 0, Bm is equals to 0. When x equals to L by 2, it is coming, just putting L by 2 at x, getting omega L square by 12, which is positive, and at x equals to L, it is again coming as 0. So we will see again it is maximum at the center and 0 at the support. So it is a cubic parabolic equation. Here again we can see where the shear force is changing its sign, the bending moment is getting maximum value. So put the symbol as per the sign convention. So last problem to be discussed in this lecture video is a couple placed at the center. We may say also a concentrated moment placed at the center. So here the reaction will be calculated taking moment about B, Ra into L plus, it is also a clockwise moment, so it is plus M is equals to 0. So we'll get Ra is equals to minus M by L. What this negative sign signifies? It is giving an information that the direction that we have considered in upward direction is wrong. So it will be actually in downward direction. So we have corrected it. Now let us go for calculation of shear force. So the equation, so calculation of reaction at B. So it will look that it will give the value of plus M by L. So calculation of shear force at a distance of x, considering a section there. So it will be minus Ra, because at the left of the cross section is a downward force. It's a downward force at the left of the cross section. You can see here, it's a downward force, so we will put a negative sign. So let us see up to here B, it will have a value of minus Ra because it is independent of x and there is no other transverse force. So it will look like a rectangle. Both the side it is minus M by L. So it will drawn by this and put a sign as per the sign convention. Now let us go for the calculation of bending moment at that section which is pointed there at a distance of x. What should be the equation? It will be minus Ra into x. Why minus? Let us see that this downward force will cause a deformation here like this. So it is a hogging. If it is causing a bending like this in upward direction, it is positive, but here itself it is causing a deformation in downward direction and causing a tension near the top. So it is a negative sign, that is, it is a hogging moment. Put a negative sign here also. Okay, so it is M by L into x. At x equals to 0, Bm is equals to 0. At just left of the cross section C, that is at L by 2, where just left of the C, Bm it is minus M by L into L by 2, it's minus M by 2. So here just right of the section it will be the M will be added, M by L into L by 2 plus M, this one, this concentrated moment. This concentrated moment, the value of which is M, will be added and it will be seen that the value is coming as plus M by 2. So you will see at L it is again coming as 0. So there is a bit change, a sudden change of bending moment at the center of the beam, and it is looking like this. Sorry, the bending moment is negative here, and sorry, it's wrongly pointed here. It's negative here and positive in the other side. So it is hogging moment at the left and sagging moment at the right. Okay, so let us come to the conclusion, which is very important. The nature of SF and BM diagram depends on the loading and can be presumed from the nature of the equation itself. So it is very important to form an equation. Salient points of the SFD, very important for the exam aspirants and for the students who are the beginners. SF does not act at the cross section but just left and just right of the section, because it is a force just like a scissor, In no load portion, SFD becomes straight line. You can see here, if you look in the no load portion that we have discussed previously, just go to that portion. This is a no load portion, SFD is just a straight line here. In the next point load diagram also, if you see that diagram here also, in the no load portion, the diagram is a straight line, no load portion. Okay, let us come back. Let us go for the next assumption, or the next salient point is the change in ordinate of the diagram between 2 points is the change of the transverse load between those points. What is that? How much change is occurring between 2 points is the change of the load at that point. So if there is a change here, there is no change because it is having a value of P, so the value is P. But here it is having a change. So how much is change? If you make an algebraic summation of these two, you will get P. So that is the point that we have to discuss or we have to memorize. So if a point load acts at the section of the beam, there will be a sudden drop. I have seen here, just in case of point load at the center of the beam and as eccentric load, and how much is the drop? If you add up the values, you will get the load. That is, if it is P by 2 plus P by 2, you will add this, you will get the value. Let us see there. If there is a sudden change, here there is no change, so it is P. If there is a sudden change, if you add up this value, you get the load. Okay, so if you add up the load, you will get the load itself. So this is very good point, because sometimes in examination they used to give the bending moment diagram or shear force diagram and ask for the load. So this point will help you. And here it is very salient that if it is an UDL, if we see the slope of the UDL is equal to the load. Let us go here. If the value of the UDL is omega, if you see here, what is the slope of this portion is perpendicular divided by the base. So it is omega L by 2 divided by L by 2 will result to omega, which is the load. So we can say from here that dV dx, which is the slope, is equals to minus omega, actually negative of the load intensity diagram. It is seen that the intensity, if the curve is of the loading diagram is of nth degree, SFD will be n plus 1 degree. If you see here, if the for the varying load or for the UDLs also, for the varying load it is more relevant. It is having a degree of 2. If it is the loading diagram is having a degree of 1, so loading diagram is having a degree of 1, exponent is 1, it is the shear force is exponent is 1 plus 1, n plus 1, it is 2. So this is very important again. So let us come to the salient point of the BM diagram. In low load portion, it is an inclined straight line, and the inclined straight line and the inclination is equal to the constant shear force. So if you see here, how much is the inclination, how much will be this theta? This perpendicular distance by base, so P by L will be equals to P. So I have said that the inclination of this line is the load. So you can see dV dx is equals to the load. So we may come back to the salient points. So this is very useful for here also. You will see if we PL by 4 divided by L by 2, you will see it is P by 2, because the load is up to here, the load is P by 2. So these salient points is found from the equation. So in case of UDL, second point, it is parabola, and the gradient of BMD at any point is equals to the shear force. dm dx is equals to V. So if you see here, the value of the parabola, if you make it dm dx, you will get this value of shear force. That the value of this equation, if you make it a differentiation, you will get the value of shear force. This x will go on, and this will go down, and it will go up to omega into x by 2. So dm dx is always is equals to shear force. And if the total intensity diagram of the curve is of the load is nth degree, for the BMD it will be n by 2th degree. So these are the different salient points. Another thing is very important, if the concentrated load acts at any section, there will be concentrated moment, there will be a salient drop, and if you add up the value, you will get the load. So you have seen in the concentrated moment there, also the concentrated moment acting here, value is having a drop. If you add this, you will get the moment M. Okay, so very important things. As point load is a discontinuity function, BMD is not differentiable, and it have a kink at the place. You see there is a kink or a triangular peak there. And at the extreme value is occurs at where the shear force is changing its sign. So we have discussed about this point. With this, we have come to an end. Please feel free to give any suggestion or ask any question. Put the questions and the suggestions in the comment box, and hope we will meet again with some more complex loading pattern on the beam to calculate bending moment and shear force in this lecture video. And for then, thanks to all.